Hello and welcome to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes or Less Ship Review, we're taking a look at the Freelancer MIS, the military variant of the Freelancer class. Now, this is one of the older ships in the verse, so let's go ahead and take a look and see how it stacks up. Starting with the exterior of the Freelancer MIS, there's just a lot going on here. And what I mean by that is, it's the Freelancer, but it's the military variant. And you gotta ask yourself, well, what does that mean? Typically, this ship will probably have more armor, if armor ever gets introduced into the game. And also, this ship has a massive amount of missile firepower. Now, going over that missile firepower, you do have 28 size 3 missiles. There's 8 Arrestor 3s, and 20 Thunderbolt 3 missiles on this ship. As you can see, there are 8 of them on the wings, 4 on the one over there, and 4 on the other side, and then the rest come out of the top of the ship, as you can see on screen now. Now, the pilot also has control of pilot-controlled weapons here on the side. You got 2 here on the left, and then 2 on the other side. Those are size 3 M5A laser cannons. Honestly, this ship is kind of lacking in the firepower department because the capacitor size isn't that fantastic either. It's just kind of a miss right here. You get it? It's kind of a Freelancer miss. Because right now rockets are not that great. Half the time they don't work, the other half they work great. And these weapons, as fun as they can be, this whole platform was supposed to be different with the way those weapons could move. Now, that's not to say with a gimbal and the right software, like a head tracking software, you couldn't make these weapons move kind of the way they're supposed to, but they're supposed to. This whole thing is supposed to move and be able to rotate in any direction and, you know, fire and make it to where you're still heading one way and those weapons are pointed another. It's really cool idea. But even with that, I feel like the ship needs an upgrade on weapon size. It needs to go up to a size 4 on these, honestly, in my opinion. That would make it much better. Now, the Freelancer MIS, again, it's the military variant. There's a total of 3 variants right now. You got the base. No, sorry, there's a total of 4 variants. You got the base, you got the DUR, which is like the exploration variant, and then you have the Freelancer Max, which is the cargo variant, and then you got the Freelancer MIS, which is right in front of us here. Now, going over a few other details in this ship, it does have 2 size 2 shields with 9,000 HP each, so a total of 18,000. Front and back shields, by the way, they're not quadrant or anything, so with that, it's still a pretty good amount of shields. I think that it can't get better, it can't get worse, right? Now, it does have only 19,200 health, and I will say that with the size of this ship and everything, I expected a lot more. I expected it to be around 30 to 40,000 health, but no, it's got a very small health pool, so you don't want to be in a fight for too long, you don't really want to be brawling with this ship. As much as possible, you want to stay at your missile range and unleash missile hell, and from there, just get out of the fight. Because it will be pretty easy once your shields are down, or if someone's shooting ballistics at you, it will be pretty easy to take you out. Your health pool is very limited for a ship of this size. And in a fight, a ship of this size does matter because you're huge. So you don't want to get hit that much. It's not good. Let's enter the back here. If you can tell, I am a little under the weather. I just can't seem to get rid of this cold. My voice is killing me. Now, if we enter the back of the ship here, this is where the primary amount of cargo will go. And then you see a marker that says turret access. That is true. There is a turret here. Now, it's a little interesting. Half the time when you don't want to, you'll enter this turret trying to just go out the back door. The other half, you're trying to get into the turret and you can't find the marker. But as you can see on screen, that is the turret view. It's definitely not a bad view at all. And it's got a great capacitor. 300 for the weapons on that is great. They are only size 2 though, so you do have the 2 size 2 CF227 Badgers. Now, that's not terrible, but it's not great. You know, it's extra firepower. That's all that matters. Extra firepower is always good. Now, as you can see here in the cargo hold, this is where you're going to have all your all your components. They're not accessible right now, but this is where you're going to have the majority of the components. At least I think it's all of them. So here and over here on the walls. If you move on, this is where your missile access is. So you do carry 36 SCU on the cargo grid. There's most of it back there, and then through this door right there is more cargo that you could stack. This is typically where more cargo like on the base would go, but it's being taken up by this missile access here. These are actually like missile boxes that rotate up to the top of the ship when you need them. As you can see, I'm missing some here because I shot some off. And yeah, so it's like a missile room. It's pretty cool. Moving on. Oh, there's going to be some components in here, I bet, too. We'll see. Yep, like I said, you do have your cargo here. So you could do 2 boxes and then stack them. 2 boxes and stack them. So that'd be pretty cool. It's going to be kind of a pain to get these through the door, honestly. But you do have a airlock or a docking ring, so that might help. Yeah, I feel like it could help, but I don't know. Boxes are kind of strange right now. I feel like just having a big, get rid of the wall here, get rid of the wall there. I mean, it's good for airlock and pressurization and all that. Maybe keep that back door. I don't know. It's tough. I'm always worried about how big a box is compared to a door. It looks like it would fit, though. Moving on, you do have your crew quarters. Now, this ship is oddly enough designated for 2 to 4 people. I don't see it. 2 people at max, honestly, in my opinion. Right here is a little kitchenette, so you have like all the kitchen and towels and drinks, everything to make your food and survive out here. Over here, you do have the bathroom, so go in here, and I'm not touching the toilet though. They are deadly. No toilet touching. That's how you get an alien on your ship. Now we go ahead and shut the door here, and this is where you're probably gonna have some of your engineering access. Don't have it yet, but probably someday sooner. Now, this ship does have 2 access points. So you have the rear there with the rear ramp, and then you do have the side door here. And this ship, I'm sure, just like the Freelancer base, can fit a multitude of small vehicles in here, including up to the ROC, so a mining vehicle in the back there. It's probably a very tight fit, but you get in and out through the front of the ROC, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem, as well as anything below that. So you won't be able to carry anything bigger than an ROC, but that's good. Now, you do have 4 beds, and these beds are escape pods as well, so when it's time to get the hell out of this ship, you're going to just lay down and enjoy the ride, which honestly would be very scary. And from my most recent plane experience, I didn't like have to jump out of a plane or anything, but I just couldn't imagine how sickening that would be, going through atmosphere, spinning all crazily, and ugh, that'd be terrible. But again, right here's another access point. You would open this up, and you have a ladder that you can go in and out of your ship. Half the time, most of the time it works. There are some times where it's bugged, and this access point can be a little bit of a pain. The original Freelancer, you used to be able to get out right here through the floor. The landing gear would actually have an access point. I really do miss that. If you look on my channel, I have 2 videos showing the original Freelancer model back in the HANGAR module days. It was pretty cool. It's way down on my channel though, so I'll probably put a link to it on the bottom. Here is the cockpit area. Again, you have 4 crew seats. You got 2 engineering stations in the rear here. None of this is turret control. And then you have a pilot and a co-pilot. Terrible, honestly. I think they need to do a redesign. This Freelancer is not big enough for 4 people. Think about it. The MSR is triple this size, and that's 4 people is hit and miss. You don't need 4 people for a Freelancer. You just don't. Take out some of that beds, put it only 2 beds, 2 crew, and you're good to go. You only need a pilot and a turret gunner. That's it. The turret gunner can kind of rotate between stations, honestly. Let's get into the pilot seat and take a look. Now, I do have all the systems online, so as you can see, you have 4 MFDs at the front here, and then you have the co-pilot seat as well, and everybody else that has screens. The capacitors on the guns is only 34 rounds each on these M5As. Not great. The M5As are fine if you're doing PvE. I personally wouldn't PvP with this ship, just because of that low health pool, and then the capacitors aren't great. You have 48 decoy and 5 noise, which is typically average for most ships. And you do have 2,500 quantum fuel, so it's not bad on the quantum fuel. And, having 36 SCU cargo grid, also not bad. But this ship for PvP, honestly, you're just a big target, and its maneuverability is not that great. I'm going to turn on the engines really quick. Okay, and then now from here, I would like to go ahead and take off, but I know I left that back door open, so I'm going to go ahead and shut that back door. Okay, now that you have the ship on and you have the doors closed and everything, you can go ahead and just take off. Now, as I was saying, the maneuverability on this ship, not great. The speed, it's not great. Honestly, this ship is just, it's too bad. The Freelancer Base and the Freelancer Max are awesome ships, and I will be doing reviews on the Max here soon. I do already have a regular base version up, review up, but this MIS is honestly disappointing for the price. And the maneuverability is just awful. Like right now I'm in space, so it's a little bit easier. I'm kind of breaking through the atmosphere here, but maneuverability and speed is just terrible. It's overall just, it needs a rework big time. I think all freelancers do. I feel like the Freelancer Base and Max are great right now in game because they have the most accessibility, but they're still not in the best spot. Would I choose a different ship over them? Probably, like the C1 or the Cutlass. And for this MIS here, it's a neat ship, and honestly, it's got some it's like vintage, right? But it's just not worth the price point right now, in my opinion. So, what do I want to give this ship? Obviously, I mean, I love the Freelancer class. I'd be like, oh, 10 out of 10, but no, it's not a 10 out of 10. Your weapons are kind of lacking. You do have a lot of missiles, but like I said, until missiles are kind of reworked, it's kind of, what's the point, right? Half the time they don't even work. Honestly, my review on this ship, it's going to be kind of harsh due to that health point. The health pool, the crew requirement, the weapons, the capacitors, everything. I'm going to give this ship probably a 5 out of 10. It feels like it's a lost identity. It's supposed to be a military ship, a patrol ship. But what are you really attacking with this thing with such a small health pool? Double the health pool, you got a better ship. 19,000 health, not great. You're not going to get hit much by anything without having to retreat and get out of there because you're already losing parts of your ship. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that score. There's just a lot to be had for this ship, and I feel like it could be definitely better. It's an awesome design, don't get me wrong, but it just needs rework and needs some changes with some of its stats. So let me know what you think of this ship down in the comments below. Do you have one? Do you plan on getting one? What do you think? Do you think it needs a rework? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.